Hey, you guys.
Hey everybody, welcome to 50 Plus Life 360.
How are you doing?
Come on into our living room.
Grab yourself a hot cup of coffee
Let's
or
sit,
a hot tea.
and sit down in one of our comfy chairs. This is our home away from home when we're not touring homes, so to
Right.
speak. Kind of seems like we're always on the road.
It does.
But come on into our living room. Today, a little different video. We're going to talk about money, specifically YouTube money, right?
And who doesn't like that topic?
Yeah, who doesn't like money? Well, I don't love money, but it takes money to make the world go round. And we thought we'd let you guys in to a little window of our lives because we get a lot of comments on our channel as we tour homes and tiny homes and single wides, double wides. A lot of people say, have you ever been to Oregon? Have you ever been to Massachusetts? Have you ever toured houses in Arizona? And you guys that have watched this a long time know that most of our watching our tours are done here in the southeast of the United States. And that's because that's where we live. And the second reason is we really don't make enough money to just be traveling all over the country and the world yet to do all these tours.
But we do a lot of traveling. I mean, we live in the South, and we've traveled as far as Connecticut, north, and we've traveled as far as Texas to the west.
Yep, we do some traveling, but we're trying to build up our channel so we gain a return on our investment, but we're just not making tons of money despite what you might think.
We do get to write off the miles. That's one thing I can say. If you're going to do a channel and your channel is about vlogging just in your living room or in your van, well, I guess van life is different. Maybe they can write off their mileage. But anything where you're just vlogging at your house, you know, if you don't travel and do things outside your home, you're not going to get the tax benefits that you really deserve.
Yeah, and of course, we're not tax experts, so consult your own CPA or your own tax professional about what you can, what you can't write off. If you have a YouTube channel, because we have a tax professional, they know what we do. They know that YouTube is one of our primary sources of income in our life, and we can get some deductions on, you know, some of the equipment we use, some of the travel that we do, some of the meals, some of the hotels if we have to stay in hotels. But that's sort of how our channel, how we work, and we travel a little bit to make the channel grow. So in other words, we're trying to build our channel to the point that it is a very good income for us, but it takes a lot of time. So we strategically take trips and go out to get content. And when we're out filming, the content starts rolling almost immediately. Like we might go out next week, and one of the next videos you see in a week or two is something we film next week, but we may film 10 or 12 homes, and then that gives us a backlog because we have kind of changed our format a little bit over the years. We technically started the channel at the end of 2022. That's just brief timeline. We started the channel at the end of 2022 as just a dream, just, hey, we ought to start a YouTube channel. And we started working on the YouTube channel in late December, early January, put up 1 or 2 videos, and then we took a trip to the beach. We put up a couple more videos, and we were just kind of tinkering along, and then unfortunately, Tammy had a bad accident, broke her leg. So that put us out of commission for how many months?
At least 3.
3 to 4 months. And then after that, our channel was just growing slowly. We were 100, 150, maybe 200 subscribers, just people that are interested in what we were doing and filming. And we didn't have a real good idea of where we were going with our channel. We wanted to do, as the name implies, 50 Plus Life 360. We wanted to do a channel where we talked about getting older and all the things that are associated with that. Your living situation, your healthcare situation, your retirement income situation, your travel situation, all of those type of things, your hobbies, things that you might get into as you get older. And we were just kind of wanting our channel to be about that. But then fate sort of twisted that around as well. We had to go out of town for a death in the family. And we had been watching some tiny home channels on TV. So Tammy decided, hey, let's do an Airbnb on this trip. It was a 2-day trip to go where we were going. We did an Airbnb in a tiny home. And we took a video. And at the same time, in the same town, we met another YouTuber that we watched. And she had 12, 13,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. And I'll link her channel right here. So if you guys haven't watched her, you can go check her out. But she gave us a shout out on her channel. About the same time, we had started putting up a video of our tiny home tour. Well, our channel just blew up overnight. We went from 200 subscribers to 1,200 subscribers. And this was around October of 2023. And we had all of a sudden just overnight 1,000, 1,200 subscribers. Well, the way YouTube works is you have to have watch hours, a certain amount of watch hours. People have to watch your content for so many hours. And I think it was 4,000 hours at the time. I'm not sure. You guys can check that. And then you have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can start earning money. And we had already had the watch time hours. And I had a little hack that I learned to get watch time hours. So we had watch time hours about 3 months into starting our channel. We just didn't have these subscribers. But meeting that other YouTuber put us over that threshold to get monetized. And our first month that we received a payment from YouTube, I believe we made in that 1 month $1,274.
We did, and that was just a fluke because it didn't stay, did it? It didn't stay.
Because we thought, oh my goodness,
we're gonna get this forever.
This is great. This is amazing. We're gonna this is so easy. And it wasn't. It wasn't really easy, but it was still easy. But we kind of went crazy and just started filming because all our audience was talking about tiny houses, and a lot of you guys came from other tiny home channels. And it was just another avenue for you guys to watch tiny houses.
And we love tiny homes. We've talked about downsizing and doing things, and we ended up downsizing. It just seemed as if every time we've downsized, we have 30 days to move to find something else because we have an offer on our home, and the 30 days just didn't work in the schematics of buying a tiny house, placing it on the land that we want, and getting all the well and the septic and everything done. It just didn't work out for us.
Yeah, because when we were selling our last house, and I was going to get to this, but the end of 2023 and through 2024 was when we really started focusing on, let's focus on tiny houses because that's what our audience wants. Let's focus on building this channel. $1,274 a month. Yes, we can make a lot of money doing this with only 1,000 subscribers. It's great. But then we started learning how YouTube works and how the ups and downs of YouTube are and how the so-called that you hear about all the time, the algorithm works. And we learned very quickly that it's important to have subscribers. It's very important to have subscribers. But subscribers are not what makes you money. What makes you money is views on a video. Because the way YouTube works is, of course, they're ad-based. They have companies come to them and say, I want this ad to get in front of 5 million people or 10 million people or whatever it may be. And they negotiate a price with YouTube. And YouTube starts putting that ad out on creators' channels. So you'll see an ad for Lowe's or you'll see an ad for whatever it may be. And we get a small portion of that ad revenue when you see that 5 seconds or 15 seconds of that commercial. We get a small portion of that. It's called a
royalty?
It's a royalty, but it's a pay per click type thing. In other words, if you watch the ad, the 5 seconds, it counts as the company getting a view. And so the more views we get, the more ad revenue we make. And I've said it before, I would rather have 1,000 subscribers and one video that had 1 million views than I would to have 1 million subscribers and a video that only has 1,000 views. Right. Because you're going to make way more money with 1 million views than you would with 1 million subscribers. But the good thing about subscribers is the more subscribers you have, the more chance every video you put out is going to have more and more and more and more views. So that's why we love subscribers so much. But that's how that works. And we tried to learn all that through 2024 was how do we do this? How do we film? And you'll notice through our channel as you watch our videos how it morphed and morphed and morphed over time as we tried to learn to get better, and we tried to take your feedback, and we tried to listen to you guys when you said, he talks too much, or slow down with the camera, or your audio stinks, or something like that. We try to take feedback, and I don't want to say this the wrong way, but we use the Mr. Beast philosophy. And if you know who, a lot of our audience doesn't know who Mr. Beast is, but he is the biggest YouTuber there is. He's a young man. He started his channel, and he just blew up. And he does, I'm not condoning all his videos or anything like that, but his success is unprecedented on YouTube. And his philosophy is every video, do one thing better. Mm-hmm. And that's what our philosophy is. Do one thing, whether it's a little thing, whether it's in the way we present a house, whether it's the way we use our microphones, whether it's the way we film, whether it's the way we edit, whether it's the way we type our description. We try to improve one thing every video. And if you go back to the long list of 200 and some videos ago and watch our channel, you'll see how that improvement progression has gone on. But anyway, that's what we did in 2024. And we grew our channel to a certain point in 2024. And then when the close of 2024 happened, we were busy prepping our other house to sell. And we were finishing repairs and getting the thing ready for the market. And like Tammy alluded to, the market was supposedly so bad at the time, we said, well, we're going to go ahead and put our house up, and we'll have plenty of time to find us some land, because we had a tiny house or two in mind, mm-hmm. and we were ready to go with all that, and we were trying to figure out where's the land we're going to buy and all this. And our house sold way quicker than what we ever imagined. Our next move is going to be a serious downsizing.
Right.
And we're not in the situation where we have to sell this house to do it.
Yes, so we want you guys to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because there's going to be some new things in our channel. Like we're going to be looking and focusing on land in the next, I'd say 6 months to a year, something like that.
Land and building and putting maybe a shed conversion or something like that. And
don't mind him.
Trigger warning, we have some kitties in the house. The kitty crew is around, so you guys, if you don't like cats. Anyway, let's get to 2025. January, February was all about us moving and selling the other house and moving into the new one. So we did very few videos because we were moving. And then we got a call from a tiny home manufacturer that we film a lot of their homes. We've been to their factory several times, and he says, hey, the Biloxi Home Show is coming up next week. I've got a house I'm sending to Biloxi. We would love nothing more than you guys to come film it before it ships. But the key is there's a wee little window that you guys got to film in. And we said, okay, when do we have to be there? And he gave us a little window, 1 day, a 2-hour time frame. And I'll let you tell the rest of the story.
And needless to say, there was a big storm coming up. And we drove for miles and miles to get to this place, and we were maybe 20 to 30 miles away from the location that we were going to film. And we heard on the radio there was a severe thunderstorm warning with big hail and everything. We said, oh no, we have a really nice Honda Ridgeline that was a newer Ridgeline, and we didn't want it to get hail damage, so the only place we could find to pull over to get some cover was a gas station on the left-hand side of a 2-lane road. So we go and we pull off the interstate and we drive just on a straightaway, straight down this really clear road. And it's just looking ominous outside.
Oh, yeah.
And so we stop because it's 8 o'clock in the morning and it's rush hour traffic in the middle of the country. And there's still, believe it or not, a lot of people coming out of the country going to wherever they're going. And there's a ton of traffic going the other way. And we're just sitting there waiting to turn left across the street to go to a gas station.
Yeah, we were going to get up under the canopy and avoid hail damage and everything else.
We're sitting there with our blinker on, trying to turn left, and like we could, in the rearview mirror, if you looked in the rearview mirror, you could look all the way back a half a mile and see the interstate ramp, not ramp, but with the overpass. We could see the overpass, and we're like, okay, we got to wait for this traffic. We can't just pull out in front of traffic and go across the road. We've still got to wait. So we're just sitting there waiting on the traffic, and a truck comes off the interstate just barreling. Actually, it wasn't a truck. It was a
Jeep.
A Jeep Renegade,
Jeep
one of those trucks, right?
Yeah, Gladiator, whatever.
Gladiator, there you go. And so he was just barreling. He must have been late for work or something and driving 60, 65 miles an hour or something like that, and just rear-ended us with so much force. It pushed us like, I don't know, it seemed like a quarter of a mile down the road from where we were trying to turn. And that just kind of messed us up for a little while and put us out of commission.
Yeah, we ended up in a hospital. We ended up with a lot of medical problems and issues. So that put us out of commission. We're going to save you all the details, but it put us out of commission that was March 13th. And it put us out of commission. I had to have, Tammy got hurt. I got hurt. I had to have a procedure in early April. So we didn't even get back to the point of filming until the end of April.
Right.
So once we got back to filming, we started kind of dribbling ourselves into it lightly, not doing too much, just to see how we felt and how everything went. And then we started filming a little bit more. But then finally, I guess was it June or July we took the big trip?
I'm not sure.
It was June. June we took the big trip. But let me go through some money for you guys, just so you guys know how much we actually made on YouTube 2025. January and February, while we were moving, January we made $510. Now I'm not including cents, just rounding it off. February was when we did hardly. Now this is a month behind, so the money we got in January was really what we earned on YouTube during December, because we don't get paid until January.
Right.
So,
in arrears.
Right, it's in arrears, sort of. So January we made $510. That was from December. February we made $310. In March we made $351. So you can see how us not really posting anything really impacted our dollar amount. April and May, we made almost the same amount, $218 in May, $219 in April. And excuse me, my dog is barking, but we made, that was discouraging money, but we knew we weren't doing anything to improve it. And it was because we had the impact of the accident on our lives. So that's when we made a conscientious decision in June. We've got to do something. We want this YouTube channel to work. We've got to do something. So we took a big trip up Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and all those places, Ohio. We filmed just tons of homes during that. But June, because we were filming and we weren't really posting, in May, our May money come back in at $271.
Which was the June pay.
Well,
Just don't confuse them. Just say, in June we made this.
Yeah, in June we made $271, but that was what we earned in May because we weren't doing anything. But July, we made $1,100. Mm-hmm. And that's when we really started posting, was in June, so the money came in July. August, as we continued this posting schedule, we made $1,210. September and October, our money went down a fair amount, and part of the reason, I believe, was because we were running out of a lot of tiny homes to film, and we had started branching off into some single wides and double wides and doing some experimenting with our audience to see, would you guys be interested in single wides? Would you guys be interested in double wides? A good portion of you are, but a lot of our audience is like, no,
right.
I'll get back to tiny houses. Mm-hmm. So September, our money went down to $874. In October, our money went down to $718. So By November and December, this money sounds inflated, but I want to explain to you how YouTube also works. Typically, November and December are the best months in YouTube, and I'll tell you why. It's because it's the holiday season, and advertisers pay more to YouTube for advertising during November and December into the Christmas season. So that's why your money typically goes. November is usually your best month. December is your second best month because the advertising goes up, and December is usually, you don't have as much. As soon as Christmas, day before Christmas comes, advertisers pull their money, and there's a whole week in December where you don't get as much ad revenue. But November we made $1,695, and December we made $1,344. Now that $1,695 in November really encouraged us because we're like, wow, that is great. So our December was when we started filming for this month, for the end of December and January, to have videos that you saw, the ones where we're doing stick-built houses now. We're like, check out these small stick-built houses. So we're trying again to bump the limits of what our audience would like to see and what they wouldn't like to see. But let me give you the total. This is what we made on YouTube in 2025. You want to announce the total at the bottom?
$8,818
Right.
total.
Right.
Right.
So that's our income. Now, here we are. It's mid to late January, and January looks like a really good month. January is usually our lowest month because in January, that's when there are no advertisers on YouTube. But we're doing well with some of our videos, and we thank you guys for that.
Yes, thank you. And if you're not subscribed, please like, share, and subscribe this video, please.
Yep. And put the notification bell on. And like I said earlier, views, views, views. So if you commit to subscribing, commit to watching our videos. That's all I ask, because that's one key metric in the algorithm a lot of people don't talk about when they talk about how much money they made on YouTube and how to get better on YouTube and how to increase on YouTube. Is the thing we have noticed the most is it's subscriber engagement. So if you are just subscribing for subscribing's sake to any channel, just don't do that. If you hit subscribe, commit to watching those folks' videos. Make it a commitment that you can watch their videos, because subscribing and then not watching their videos lowers their engagement score, because we see it all the time on our dashboard. It says fewer subscribers are watching this video, which is decreasing its reach and potential. And then we'll see videos that do well. It says, great job. Lots of subscribers are choosing to watch this video, which is causing us to expand its reach. So that's a big part of the algorithm that really helps channels. If you decide to subscribe, commit to watching some videos. Don't just subscribe just to see their numbers go up or because you feel guilty, but make that commitment to watch some of their videos. Just make it a regular thing. But
I want to let you know that we're very involved in the comments, especially Mr. Chubby. He is religious about responding to comments. So if you want to be involved with a channel that listens to you and a channel that responds almost every time,
yeah,
or likes or hearts your comments, this is the channel for you. If you really are feeling lonely over there and like to have somebody to talk to, just give us a shout out on our comments, because we are always responding.
We have made a few little dollars. We have our Buy Me a Coffee thing, and we're not ashamed of that. We have channel memberships, and thanks to all the members. But the memberships, YouTube takes such a significant portion of the memberships, we don't even push them. Buy Me a Coffee, that company only takes, I believe it's 10%, which gives us 90%, which is a pretty good deal. So we're about to wrap it up. We appreciate you guys watching. Thank you. And we look forward to a great 2026. We're going to show you some great home tours. And
we are.
And you don't ever get to see Miss Tammy, so let her know how beautiful she looks, because she is my lovely bride.
Aww.
And I am so proud to have her as my wife. And my great camera person. Somebody said the other day that I said in a video, I'm going to let Miss Tammy show you this. And then they never saw Miss Tammy. All they saw was some big fat guy.
They're like, who is Miss Tammy?
But what I mean by that,
The
when I say
mystery behind the camera.
when I
right?
say Miss Tammy's going to show you, I mean she's going to point the camera in that direction. But she's on film today, so y'all give her some encouragement. But thanks you guys for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll see you.
See you on the next one.
Yeah, the next home tour. See you later.